Yo, what's there? Right here, same discussion on Strike Seven Sports. In today's video, I just want to provide a scouting report, a little team overview of its latest opponent, which will be the Jacksonville Jaguars, the game that will be their week 7 game for this week. Playing on a short week, coming off a loss, another baffling loss to an opponent that they shouldn't have lost too, despite that team is going to look really good in the future. Houston Texans. So they come back to the Dome after a 2-game road trip. Well, not 2 game, but after 2-game road trip because you played on the road in New England, then you went on the road to Houston, and now you come back home to the Dome, which will be followed up by another AFC opponent against the Houston Texans, the Indianapolis Colts. But for this video, we're going to do a quick overview, a scouting report of the Jacksonville Jaguars and what they may be capable of in Thursday's game. All right, so overall statistics. I'll start off with the offense. They average 23.7 points per game, which places them at 10th in the league. For total yards per game, 337.3. They are 13th in the league for that. Third down conversion rate, 36.14, 24th in the league. Red zone, they're 20th in the league with a 50% percentage rate. Touchdowns a game, they're averaging 2.5, which places them at ninth in the league. Running the football, they're averaging 113 yards, 0.5 per game, which places them at 15th in the league. Rushing TDs per game, 1.27 average, 7th in the league. Passing, 67.61 completion percentage. They're ranked 11th in the league in that category. Yards per game, 223.8, which places them at 12. Interceptions thrown percentage, 1.41, 4th in the league. QB sack, 6.99%, 18th in the league. All right, so what I heard about the Jacksonville Jaguars, just hearsay and all that stuff. Um, they're having a good season so far. They started off with a little rocky, a little shaky at one point, because they pretty much started the Texans got the attention put on them at. It's because of the beat down they put on the Jacksonville Jaguars, you know. So Jaguars, rallied. They beat I believe they beat the Falcons. They beat Indianapolis this past week, and now they are 4-2. Defensively, they give up 20.3 points per game, yards per game, 345.7, 21st in the league. That's what they're allowing a game on total offense. Gray zone, the defense is allowing 52.38% percentage rate, what places them at 16. The third down conversion rate on defense, 39.51%, which ranks them at 17. Against the rush, they're pretty good against the rush. They're ranked third in the league, 75.3. Opponents rushes per game is 21.2, which they ranked fourth. Points per game, they give up 20.3, like I said. Against the pass, they're giving up 270 yards, 0.3 per game, which places them last in the league. Last in the league, well, second to last in the league against the pass, defending the pass. So, with that being said, man, to me, on both sides of the ball for this team, for the Jaguars, just based on their rankings, and all, the big categories and everything, the important ones that people pay attention to. They're to me like they're a middle of the pack team on both sides of the football, in my opinion, for what I see. It'll be interesting to see a Saints attack this team, and they got to figure out something because, if you're not listening, if you haven't, if you don't live under a rock by now, you know what's going on with the team as far as their team trying to, be accountable, hold themselves accountable for what is transpiring on offense. You've seen the interviews with Alvin Kamara, Cam Jordan, Michael Thomas. They each, each of them, is kind of like they're not saying it by name, but they're calling out a player. Whatever player that is, I don't know. They're calling out a player or a few or players. You know, Michael Thomas ain't blaming he not blaming Pete Carmichael for what's going on. He's saying it's just the players' fault. He's saying he's taking accountability. He's saying that it's on them to execute these plays. Now, from what I've been reading, is that these guys are not even lined up properly. Not even they're confused by the calls at the line of scrimmage when they want to change out the play. They want to do audible. The wide receivers are not on the same page. The spacing is jacked up. And I mean, I saw some of it in the game myself when Derek Coleman was threaded interception. And reached Rashid Shaheed went a different way, and that pass could have went in that guy's hand for a P6, but it didn't happen. But they got to get this fixed, bro. They got to get this fixed, man. And if Carr has another injury, like I believe is in the chest now. He has a shoulder injury. They say that he says he's healing up better from that, but now he has a new injury with the chest injury that I believe was suffered again in the Texas game. So this defense is the middle of the pack. The offense to me is middle of the pack, in my opinion. Um, can he attack that? Can he attack this defense in the secondary on the outside? You know what I'm saying? They're giving up a total of 345 yards per game right now, which ranks them at 21st, at 21 in the league. Can you tag that side? Can you tag that part of their defense? You know what I'm saying? Can you put Alvin Kamara in a one-on-one matchup against one of their linebackers? Because like I said, man, this defense is middle of the pack. The offense is middle of the pack. And they got some really good players on that team, on that offense. You know what I'm saying? Some really good players, man. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick. Trevor Lawrence, who was the number one pick, I believe 2 years ago. A lot of people saying that Lawrence is having a down year right now. It's not. He's starting to crank up now, but he has had a really good season so far. He's only got 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on the season. Travis Etienne, Louisiana native, leading rushing. He's having a huge year. 451 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns, averaging 75 yards a game. Christian Kirk is having another outstanding year. 384 receiving yards, leads the team in receiving, 49 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Now Calvin Ridley is right behind him. 2 catches, 363 yards, and 2 touchdowns as well. Evan Ingram, 36 catches, for 301 yards, and no touchdowns yet. But this is a really good roster, man. It's a really good roster, dude. That's especially on the offensive side, man. Travis Etienne is gonna be the guy that we got to watch out for. Christian Kirk, we know what he's about. Calvin really has had success against the Saints in the past due to his time with the Atlanta Falcons. So this how the Saints gonna have to account for him. They're gonna have to account for him. Parsons Debo, the way Parsons Debo defend him, well, whoever it is on him is gonna be. Uh, I wonder. Hopefully, man, Dennis Allen sends help over there to anybody to the player that's gonna guard um Calvin Ridley because he's a burner and he really hurt this team. You know what I'm saying? Paulson Debo has to be careful with the way he defends these wide receivers because in that secondary, he has been a player that the referees go after a lot, and that's based on how he defends wide receivers. You know, Trevor Lawrence, man, he's not having a really good year so far, but he's getting the job done. And the division that they're in, it's not a really competitive division, in my opinion. This might be enough just to win it. I believe right now, man, to be honest, if we're being honest, the biggest threat to them is the Houston Texans. Tennessee is fading. You know, they're fading. You got the Texans, they're in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Indianapolis, they may try to do something. They got a really good running attack. But they might be able to win that division. But this Thursday night, the Saints got to give them an L, give them an L. You know, in regard to Lawrence, he suffered a knee sprain in last week's in week 6 victory over the Colts. But according to Adam Schefter, is that the plan is for him to play. According to this tweet he put out today, Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence told reporters that he's optimistic he will play on Thursday night versus the Saints. But of course, we will have to make that decision on Thursday. Lawrence is dealing with a knee sprain. I think he's playing, bro. He will play. That's just facts. When has an opposing team's best player or players that have dealt with injuries not missing game against the Saints? It's very rare, man. So he's gonna play, bro. So going to the betting lines, if you gamble or anything like that, the Saints winning without Trevor Lawrence in the game starting, I believe the Saints were like that. They favored the Saints by -3. Down the report that he's practicing today and he might play, it went down to -1 to -1. Saints -1. So the Saints are the favorites to win this game, and that's because many of the factors that play. Trevor Lawrence at 100%. Jacksonville to going on the road to play on a Thursday night, a short week. To me, man, it's a 50-50 game. Right? That game can go either way because a few weeks ago, the Chicago Bears went down to the DMV, Washington D.C., to play the Commanders and blow them out. On a short notice, on a short week. Got had the best or got their first win of the season. So it's just you just can't say that um the road team could lose this game because you know they're on a short week. They play on a short week and they're traveling across the country and things like that. You can't really factor that in all the time, right? You can show up. The key is showing up to play. If you're ready to play, you're ready to play. Plain and simple, you know. But if the Saints don't get nothing right, get it going by this time, bro, you have to make a change, bro. Some change somewhere on that team in regards to that offense. You know, yeah, I think you're getting this team right where you want them. Quarterback not 100%. To me, I'm just based on the numbers they're putting up so far, the stats and where they ranked at and all that. You know, you should be able to win this game because to me, the Jacksonville is a middle of the pack team right now. On offense and defense. And they got, like I said, really good players, man. Players that could possibly hurt the Saints. Christian Kirk, he's a big play receiver. Calvin really has cooked the Saints in the past. Travis Etienne is a really good running back, you know? So it's a challenge, man. And I'm kind of glad that Trevor Lawrence is playing because I don't want the Saints to win this game, and he didn't start because he was hurt, and then I would give people like this false sense of hope and thinking that everything is right with the Saints because they won this game by a large margin. You know what I'm saying? Similar to how the New England game played out. So hope that he does play to see how this team's gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna wait and see how it's gonna play out, man. Thursday night football, Amazon Prime. This is the second, I believe. This is the second appearance the Saints have made on playing football on Thursday, Amazon Prime from Thursday night football. Last year, played against the Cardinals, got blown out. On the road. It is what it is. Hopefully, can get this W. So there's that. All right, so that's y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. How you feel about the Saints' chances of winning on Thursday night football this week. Also, check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest content on the One Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.